January is a time for resolutions, but for some, it's better known as one of the most popular months to get divorced.
Yeah, between Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, it seems not even what appears to be the strongest of marriages are safe. So how do you navigate the emotional fallout of a separation? To explain, we're joined now by relationship expert Melissa Ferrari here in studio. Melissa, good to see you.
Good morning.
Why is January considered the divorce month?
Well, it's because it's been the holidays, right? And during the week, during the year, there's all the distractions like running kids around to sport and school and work. And so when you get that break, you actually get to see each other a little bit more. You get to see your partner. Things calm down. And so there's a little bit more engagement. And so that's one of the reasons. And then the other reasons is because people decide we'll just leave it till after Christmas, right? That good old, we'll get it done in January. And of course, there's the new me.
Yes.
You know, that new that's it. And so quite often that's the case as well.
Yeah, getting divorced is an interesting New Year's resolution. It can be very difficult emotionally. So, Melissa, how do you navigate the fallout and the recovery of a separation?
Well, you need to take care of yourself, you know, and be able to set some boundaries and be aware that it feels traumatic because it absolutely is. Your whole world has been rocked, and so learning to lean on family, friends, maybe trying some of the things that you've never done before, some new interests, setting some boundaries, taking care of yourself, because the nervous system really goes into flux when this happens. It is a big disruption. Sometimes a marriage can feel like it's life or death, and sometimes because it really is, you know, it's your resource to life being okay for you. And so when that's taken away, it's a hard time.
It's an emotional toll on yourself, but if there's kids involved, there's also an emotional toll on them. So what advice do you have if kids are tied up in a separation?
Well, be age appropriate with them on what you share. Make sure that, you know, if they do need help, that you seek help for them. Take care of each other in it as well. Be aware that these little kids are a product of you two, and they're looking up to you for guidance. So make sure you minimise their stress, no conflict, and, you know, really try and minimise. It's a significant loss for them. And so, you know, being very protective of what they experience is so important.
What about having to deal with if your partner moves on before you do and seeing them with someone new, particularly in this age of social media where relationship statuses and photos of loved ones get posted online? It can be even harder to avoid.
Unfortunately, for some people it can even be traumatic, you know. The loss really becomes right in your face. So I think seeking therapy is really important if this is affecting your mental health, because for many it really does. But again, focusing on those things that make you feel good, you know. It's like that dopamine, those things that you do, whether you like dancing, whether it's meeting coffee with friends, but making sure that you're still connecting. You know, it's the connection that you've really lost. And one thing too is it's really easy with social media to want to look into it more, and sometimes looking into it more can just feed into the obsessing that you've already got going on in your mind. So it is a bit of a trap, as hard as it is to do. Most people say they can't do it, but it's really worth stopping that obsessing.
It's just the curiosity, you know.
But the answer to any problem is not more social media.
No,
it never is it,
absolutely
Melissa?
right.
Never is, never is.
I'm always interested when a couple has been together for a long time. You often have mutual friends, and there's often a feeling of whose side are people going to take. When a relationship ends, how do you stay friends with everyone, and is that even possible?
Well, if you're the kind of couple that can negotiate it between yourselves. Some people actually can. They can say, you can go to dinner this time, I'll go next time. Some people can even turn up, you know, together with the kids and make it look like, you know, we're still fairly cohesive, which helps the people around you as well feel comfortable as well. But if it can't be like that you can be in the same place, make sure again that you're looking after yourself. Check things out, be curious. Is my partner going to be there, or aren't they? Are they bringing their new partner? That's really significant, right? And you've got to be aware as to whether you're really ready for something like that. Sometimes this stuff can take about 2 years to get over, right, in yourself, your nervous system, and for your mental health. So being really aware of that, it's such a delicate thing, and taking care of yourself and protecting your heart, really, because your heart is somewhat broken most of the time.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a grieving process, isn't
Yeah.
it, as you say? What about practical ways to, set things like boundaries and manage dignity? I guess particularly also if it has been a bit of a messy separation and communication's not that great.
Well, that's the problem. You know, people usually separate because communication wasn't that great. One thing you can do is seek a therapist, right? Where you can actually navigate all of this together, because protecting yourself's so important. Avoid the power struggles and don't go into how things happened. You know, sometimes it can be, well, you did this and you did that. Avoid all of that. Don't overshare too much, you know, about yourself on social media or with people. Protect yourself in this area, because, you know, people get very stirred up when people get divorced and separated, because it's like, dare that be me, right? And you never know what can happen or what's around the corner. So I think divorce and separation does stir friends and family. Everybody will have an opinion, they'll have a thought, and they'll say why, you know, and so protect yourself from that.
Well, you've helped plenty of people protect themselves from that. Great to chat to you this
Wonderful.
morning. Melissa,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Melissa. Great advice.
Thank you.